There you go. Welcome back to the channel. We're in a little more intimate setting. We're doing a little series called What Is. That's right. Hopefully Mike over here has got him shit right. You got yourself straight, Mike. Let's see. Anyways, Mr. Light Bright is good. And the ambiance is flowing. So here we go. Alright, so today's topic of what is going to be what is turning pain into positiveness or production. I'm good with titles, but not right now. So, the idea is understanding pain. Pain. I mean, break your finger. Pain. Someone says some things to you that hurt your feelings. That's pain. Someone takes away things that are yours, and that's pain. I can keep going on and on and on. So, what do we do with that pain? Well, that pain's stored in our bodies, right? It's stored in our bodies in different parts of our bodies, and if we're going to get into the spiritual side of things and the holistic and all that good stuff, basically this energy of pain gets stored in certain parts of your energy field, which are your chakras, right? So if you have a heartbreak, guess where it goes? In your heart chakra, right? And so over time, that becomes full. It's like a storage unit. Right. And so it gets filled with all this pain. And you think that one day in the past that you were this happy-go-lucky person. You might have been. But because you've racked up all this pain, it changed the way that you feel. So now you're not so much, and your heart is closed off because the pain has taken so much of your storage in your heart chakra that it's got nothing but pain in there. So, stuck like Chuck, right? Exactly. So now how do we take that pain and turn it into positivity or progress? Well, I've been through some pain. I mean, I stepped on a nail on Easter Sunday, didn't even feel it. I went home, I took off my shoe, my sock, and my mother was like, "Why is your foot bleeding? Oh my God." And then she started cleaning it up because she was an RN. And, hold on. Sorry. Dude, do not disturb. Anyways, she's an RN. So she was cleaning up my wound, and she noticed that there was a hole in the bottom of my foot, straight through the top of my foot. And like I said, it was on Easter Sunday, and I had no idea, because I didn't even feel it. Right. And so my mom cleaned it up, bandaged me, put me to bed. I woke up in the morning with the tetanus line going up my calf. The poison line, so I don't know if you newbies know what that means, but basically when you step on a rusty nail or something, it's called tetanus, and the infection from the occurrence of stepping on that nail or anything rusty, the bacteria from the rust and all that gets in your bloodstream and causes poison. And so once it gets to your thigh, in my case, it's my femoral artery, so then I'd be shit out of luck because it'd be right to my heart in about a half second. So we went to the hospital, took care of it, I was fine. Pain? I don't know. I didn't feel it. But the pain of knowing what could have happened is tremendous. So sometimes emotional pain is stronger than physical pain. And so when we go through these things of heartache and heartbreak and breakups and things like that, it really affects our heart chakra and shit, right? It really stores up. So turning that into positivity or progress would basically really mean that you need to look at what is the pain. What is the pain? What is really hurting you? Well, if simple as a finger break, well, if you have any common sense to you, you put a little splint on it, set it back, go to the doctors, whatever, and basically it would be fine. It would heal right and everything. So you have some kind of knowledge of the pain, broken finger. And so when you set it and you wrap it and you go to the doctors and they take care of it, well, basically that is like the same thing as turning it into the positivity or the production. So instead of sitting there and looking at your crooked finger being like, oh my God, your friend went, wrapped it, shipped you off, and you got it taken care of. So now you learned the lesson of being able to how to transmute that pain into positivity or production. And so you can do that with emotions of all kinds. Anger, hostility, jealousy, envy, you name it. Hurt, sorrow, sadness, depression. Yeah. We can do that. You just got to recognize what the pain is. And once you recognize the pain, then you want to feel like you don't want to have that pain no more. So then you're really wanting to do anything you can to get rid of it. But in a positive sense. Some people get depressed and they can't beat it. And so they get depressed more, and then they start turning into lower vibrational people, and they do low vibrational things. So now you are even step further. So instead of looking at why you were depressed, you just were looking at how you were depressed, the way that you were depressed, the things that were in your life that were part of you trying to cope with being depressed. So when you ignore that fact, then you get more depressed. But if you realize why you'd be depressed, that is the revelation, my friends. That is the clue, that is the start, that is the way to be able to figure out now how to progress, transmute your pain into something productive, positive. When I went into combat, because I went to Iraq tour twice, when it first started, and it was like, it's so weird because if you tell your mind something, your body's going to follow because, I mean, we do have the subconscious, so our breathing and our organs and all that stuff works by itself, but it really doesn't because it's still part of the brain. But consciously, no, we're not telling ourselves breathe. Okay, breathe now. We're not doing that. But in the sense, when you do control some of those part of those subconscious realms, we'll say realm, you can find an easier and a quicker way to transmute some things. Like I say, when I went over there, my whole idea was it's going to be me, not them. Praying all the time, blah, 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 blah. And so the mentality of the positiveness kept me positive, which kept me aware, which kept me safe, which kept me alive. Because I've been through some shit, pain. You don't know what it's like to get blown up. But I do. You know what it's like to see things that you can't unsee. But I do. So those pain had to be transmuted in some way. Because if I left them be that way, I would suffer the rest of my life in that misery and that pain. And only looking at not why I'm in pain, but how I'm in pain. And that's when we go wrong, is when we look at how we're in pain. We have to look at why. And when you do, then you get sick of whys. And then it turns into something positive. I don't know about y'all, but you ever been angry at some shit? So mad it's, say, your husband or your wife, and they do some shit, pissed you off, they said they were going to whatever. That. You got so mad, frustrated, right? You're probably pulling a Rihanna and breaking dishes and shit. Whatever. But if you took that anger and you said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna let this out because it's not gonna be, but you did in a productive way. Well, then maybe we'll just see. Example: my children, I have girls, rowdy when they were young. My youngest, she was a banshee. She used to get angry at her sister because her sister would take something and then she wouldn't know how to express herself, so she jumped on her sister's back like a raging lemur and destroyed her. But it was very tame. She was like way younger, right? Anyways, no violence. It was just sibling shit. And so when I seen this, because it was such a tremendous incident, that it took my daughter and said, "Hey, listen. Let's think about this for a second. Why are you angry?" "Well, my sister did this, da, 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 da." Okay. I said, "Well, jumping on her back like a cheetah, shooting her eyeballs out, is not really the way to go. Because for one, you wouldn't want it to be done to you. So, to avoid all this, let's just say why we're angry. So, I want you to say, hey, sister of mine, you made me very angry because you took my things and blah, 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 blah." Right. And so, the next time something happened, that's exactly what she did. She didn't jump on her sister's back like a wild puma. I love my daughter to death. She's so much older now. She heard the shit, she'll probably be like, "What?" Love me, darling. Anyways, she transmuted that pain, which was now communicating her anger, to express her emotions, to really not let it be stored in her chakra storage places. Wherever that was going to go for her, it would have stored there because she wasn't going to recognize it. And that behavior would have kept going on and on and on, still filling that storage tank. So, once you recognize it, then she don't have to hold on to that energy and put it in the storage tank. She let it go to the rightful owner of who it belonged to, and that was her sister. And then they corrected the situation by putting duct tape straight down the middle of the room. That's your side, this is their side, and peace out, and that was great. So, what's the whole point? The point is about thinking about some shit before things happen, or as they're happening. You're angry. Think about why you're angry. You're sad. Think about why you're sad. Because in that moment of when you were reflecting, you're in the hermit mode with your light, trying to find the answers and analyzing shit. Well, guess what? The answer's always within us. We know. It's just this world kind of clogs us up and we kind of get wrapped up in these emotions, which brings us on the level vibrational, and then we're definitely not catching up. So once you start transmuting your pain into progress, into positivity, production, whatever you want to call it, you're going to start learning that trick. And that is part of some of the manifesting your life and the good things that you want for yourself. Simple as like wanting to eat dinner. If you want to eat dinner, you use utensils, right? So you have to pick up a fork. So when you go to pick up that fork, you're actually manifesting you eating your dinner by picking up that fork. Because that's your intention. So what you think is what you do, and what you do is what you think. That's why our bodies won't really move. If you tell your arms to move, they're not going to move. Arms move. But if I think about moving my arm, wow, my arm moves. So my friends, that has been what is. I appreciate your time coming out here and hearing me jaw jack for a little bit, but y'all live it. Noobs, hit the like button, subscribe, become part of the Divine Family. Check out my other playlists. There's tarot, there's more of these what is, and thank you for coming out. And appreciate your time, energy, peace and pray. See you again.